Hey, family. Welcome back to What the Biz Nut, where we talk about a number of topics. And we might debate, we might talk, we might argue, but we're always going to love. And so today we are here to uh, get into a topic that we tends to get heated sometimes. We're going to see where it leads. But I'm Dr. T, and this is Mr. Critical. What are we talking
Hey,
about today?
well, I got a lot of things to talk about, but let's talk about something we didn't had a real debate about. Why do black people that wins the lottery? Well, let me take that back. Why do people that wins the lottery always goes broke in 8 years or less?
Well, and I don't normally play the lottery, but I did play it this time when it was a B billion. Babe even sent me a couple of numbers, even though he don't believe in playing the lottery. He sent me a
No, I
couple of
don't.
numbers and we won some money. I know you don't, but we won
It,
some money.
$4, y'all. I didn't even remember when she told me it was in one out there because I was looking for the 4 million one. Okay, okay.
Okay. I said we won $4.
Yeah, dollars. And that's with the D, not the B.
So the conversation started with the lottery. It ended up with really a conversation on Black people and our position in the world when it comes to the socioeconomic status. What's your stance on why Black people are on the lowest rung of the socioeconomic totem pole?
Well, I don't mean to stir up the pot, but I think we don't deserve it. We know we don't deserve it, and that's why we don't understand how to hold on to it because we don't appreciate it. We think of it as like pair of shoes, pair of socks. We just love it at that moment and don't value it or treasure it or understand how to invest it. So I think we realize as a group of people that we don't deserve it. And that's why we don't hold on to it.
Okay, so you think we don't deserve it. I believe we struggle with our money and economics because of a mindset and also systems that have been in place for a long time that have impacted our mindset towards money.
Okay,
So
let's dissect that.
you believe we don't deserve it. I believe it's deeper than that. I believe
Okay, let's
it's our
dissect.
mindset. It's our
Yeah, let's dissect this
okay.
then.
Go.
So you says economic systems has been put in place. Well, the economic system that is in place that I agree with, that's definitely a real system that is in place to hinder the progress of us as black people. But aside from that, when you hit the lottery and you get 8, 9, 10, $15 million, then the system is irrelevant at that point. So could you help me understand why then that when we get this money, we just funded it away?
Well, I don't have any data on how many Black folk have won the lottery and are broke, but I think you just
I
proved my
know,
point.
I know the data. I know it.
No,
I know it.
you don't. No, you don't. You just proved my point that it's not about, it is the economic systems and it is also the mentality that would impact Black folk, like we talking about, with holding on to their money. I think to say we don't deserve it is crazy because if anybody deserves anything in this country, it's Black folk, being that everything the ground we stand on, the life that we live right now was built on the back of Black people. So if anybody deserves anything, we do. But
Well, what I always say
I
about
think it's a
deservance,
mentality.
what I always say about deservance, don't nobody deserve anything. If you don't have a system or plan to utilize your fortune, you're fortunate enough to hit the lottery. So if you don't appreciate and realize how fortunate and lucky and blessed that you are, and you squander that type of money away, then how can't you say they deserve it? They don't deserve. They deserve exactly what they got. At the end of 8 years, they broke.
I mean,
That's what they deserve. Would you
that's
agree with that or
one
not? Dr. T, if somebody win the lottery, $8 million, and in 8 years they broke, do you think they deserve to be broke? Yes or no?
they deserve, but I mean, the situation is still such that they are probably broke because I believe that the mentality of tends to that I believe the mentality tends to be, I've never had nothing, so when I get something, Imma prove that I got something, and because we haven't had anything, so we need to show the world I got it. I think we're slowly moving away from that mentality, but
No way.
that's no.
No way are we moving away from that mentality. That mentality is instinctively and genetically in our DNA to be and to show off over the less fortunate. White people don't do that. White people don't get wealth and floss it around on their neck, on their feet, on their head, on their ass, and in their cars. No, white people don't do that. White people are very conservative when it comes to flashiness. They don't do that. We as black people and Mexicans are the only people that is flashy and want to flaunt our success, our wealth. And if you're fortunate to hit the lottery, God forbid, you definitely the number one stunner. So now here we go with the same cycle of repetitiveness that keep us in the same situation. Because all jokes aside, when a person gets financially secure and financially wealthy, they tend to not be generous. They tend to be very selfish and they tend to not want to help bring up the next man to their level of success. It always appeared to be, that old saying, it take a team to win a game. Well, for some reason, we as black people tend to think that we are the team and we are the game, and anybody else that's in the game is irrelevant. So when it comes to wealth, we tend to be like crabs in a barrel. We'd rather keep each other below us than to lift each other up with us.
Well, I mean, like I say, when I say mentality, I also mean, trauma is held in the DNA. So we've passed down trauma generation to generation. On top of that trauma, we were never educated economically. On top of not being educated economically, we know that there are systems in place that have kept us from prospering. And when we did prosper during, what is it, the Reconstruction era? When we did prosper, in just that little amount of time, it's always burned down, flooded out, demolished.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
we know black people have good sense in order to build. So I can't say we deserve anything, but there is still a mentality that we carry with us. There's still the trauma that we carry with us, and there's still the systems. So
So you think that's the excuse for why, when we are fortunate enough to so-called be the one in a billion and hit the lottery, we squander the money away instead of savoring and planning inheritance for our offsprings and friends and family?
well, it's not only black people who do that with money. It's uneducated people who do that with money.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I can't argue that point. It boils down to uneducated ignorance of money. And a lot of us even myself, I have to say, growing up the way I grew up, experiences, the things I experienced, I never hit the lottery, but I did hit a lot of other things and came up. I say that for another conversation. I squabbled the money away, gambled the money away, being flashy the money away, cars, jewelry, all of the nigga shit. Yeah, I experienced that type of lifestyle that when I look back on it, I would have to be honest with you all that I was very ignorant of the money. Even though I had a father that always told me, son, this ain't gonna last forever. But being a young man, who wanna listen to it ain't gonna last forever when it's coming in so fast and so much? You know what I'm saying? Yes, ignorance. I would have to say this. Ignorance is nothing more than an excuse because ignorance doesn't elect you for being held accountable in the court of law. So I'm not going to say ignorance can be an excuse for the squandering of wealth or money or a lot of money coming in at one time. I just say that you as we get older, we should know by the time we're 40, 45, because most lottery winners that hit the lottery is pretty much in age, mid-age or older. To be at that age and squander that type of wealth away is just, to me, ridiculous. Now, I can easily sit here and say, because I never hit the lottery, but I can easily say if I was to hit that goddamn lottery, it would be different this time around.
I mean, and I'm sure those people think, "Oh, I got all this money. Things are about to be different." And without that education, you don't have any clue what to do with that amount of money, and you make terrible money moves because of a mindset, not because you don't deserve it, but you have a lot of factors working against you, especially as a Black person.
What
We
factors
just
do you think is working against a person to hit the lottery? There is no system at that point that can affect them.
I mean, the system of we were not raised in that kind of language. We didn't have those conversations. We didn't even have access to a lot of this stuff at one point in time. So imagine somebody takes off the race 100 yards before you do, before you can even start running. We're behind the curve on a lot of this information and a lot of this knowledge on how to successfully manage your money, make good money moves, invest your dollars, trusts and insurance and all this other stuff. We're behind the curve. So it is, I mean, that's what's happening. We're still trying to play catch up. And then don't even mention that we are gradually making strides in catching up and how to take care of our money. And now they want to change the money game with the dang on crypto
Yeah. Yeah, I was just
crypto
finna say that. Yeah. Well, no, not
because
just the
because
crypto,
we
but them change.
are catching up.
Well, not just the crypto, but when we are catching up, what they do? Well, when we learned about the goddamn bankruptcy laws, what happened then? They changed the laws. Then when we learned about the goddamn what was that program everybody was getting that fraudulent money? Some they had businesses and shit during COVID. What was that money?
PPP.
Yeah, the PPP loan. I missed out on that, y'all, because I was supposed to be my ass locked up because I was supposed to be in on that scam, but I missed out on it. All of these advantages that, and I would agree with you. Yeah, it is a system, no doubt.
Thank you.
But and y'all put that in your notes because this is a rare occasion here. But anyway, yeah, the system. When we catch on to the system, things does change. But still, at the end of the day, I just think that it's just crazy for you to be a poor person, fortunate enough to hit the lottery, and in 8 years or 5 years, goddamn it, you back living in your car. If that happened to me, baby, I ain't gonna lie. Kick me in the ass and kill me, because that's what I deserve. I can't speak for y'all, but that's what I deserve to be a dead motherfucker broke as I came in this world. Broke.
Yeah, but and what's interesting though, what's crazy is it's not just lottery winners. It's a lot of our athletes that go
Yeah,
broke. It's a lot of our
yeah.
entertainers that go broke.
But they be taken advantage of, trusting someone to manage their fucking money.
Okay,
You
r-
know,
because
one
they
of the
don't have the education.
exactly. You know what DJ Khaled said that I will never forget, and this was I don't like him, but I fuck with him because he said this. He said, a lot of us get wealthy and we rely on someone else to manage, pay our bills, to spend our money. He's worth over 30 some $1 million. He said there's not a bill, there's not a payment, there's not a check that he don't sign and that he don't approve. He writes and signs all checks for anything that's going on in his life. He said he do not rely on nobody to manage or to spend his money. And what he said at the end, I agree, because I can do that myself. And that's the problem I think with the athletes, entertainers. They get so much money it's in such a short period of time that the system is instantly programmed into them that you need a money manager, a money marketing. You need to invest. So you get all of these people coming into you when you're ignorant to this money. You get all of these people with this influence that you trust that you don't even know shit about to manage and market your money for you. That's the outcome. The majority of this is statistically a fact. Out of 50 athletes, 20 of them 50 athletes is taken advantage of by someone that's managing their money. 20 out of 50, 20 of them are taken advantage of. And then the other 30 have people that's in charge of their money stealing from them. And that's why you hear all of these sad stories of this unfortunateness that I had all of this money and now the athletes and entertainers are sitting back in debt because they trusted someone to manage in the market their money. And, I learned a long time ago, shit, you count every dime and you spend every penny, you will have something left over. But not nobody else. And I don't think this is crazy. It is unimaginable to me that I can get so much goddamn money that I need somebody to manage and to pay my bills. I would love to be in that situation because right now I can't even fathom what it's like to have that kind of much money that I need somebody to manage it, keep track of it, and to spend it for me. That's crazy. I can't even
Well, I mean,
imagine.
you just proved my point that it's, lack of education because we just didn't learn this stuff. One, we didn't learn it in school for dang on sure. They're barely learning it in school now. And we didn't have access to those things. So we didn't learn it. Our parents didn't learn it. Their parents didn't learn it in order to hand it down. So again, we're behind the curve. I feel like we're in a position now, we're in a place now where we know better. So we do better. We're trying to do better. There's so much information out there to educate yourself on how to be on financial literacy. There's so much information out there. So, but then even though there's the education, I gotta go back to the mindset. I don't have the statistics, but I know a few years ago, just in something that I was looking up, said Black people spend the most of their income on temporary items. And so marketing knows that. So marketing puts these ads together to appeal to Black folks so that they'll spend the majority of their money on these temporary things. Part of the system. It's recognizing that. I want us to just get to a place where we can recognize that there is a system put in place to distract us from what we need to be doing. And then I can't take away what the media allows and what entertainment allows. They allow this music and this portrayal of what it means to make it with all the jewelry, all the cars, all the clothes and all that. It's allowed. This portrayal is allowed because it's still embedded in our minds. Ooh, if I get some money, I need people to see that I got the money. So I got to go get the things to prove that I have the money. I got to get the jewelry. I got to get the cars, all the stuff that we see in the videos and, you know, the glamour of it all. That stuff is allowed because the powers that be know it portrays a message that keeps us distracted and keeps us spending our money on temporary things.
Well,
Part of the system.
let me ask you this. What's wrong with targeting a weak link in the chain? We are a weak link. So I understand the system. So being that we are a weak link, we are nothing more than consumers of bullshit that is irrelevant, that doesn't hold value, that doesn't last long. You can't resell it. And when you do resell it, you're losing 60 to 70% of the value that you spend for it. So we are what we consume. We are the target. We are the weak link in
No,
the
think
system.
I think it's the exact opposite. I think we're the target because we are the strongest link. So we have to target what we believe is too strong that if we don't target it, then it'll become all too powerful. So it is a target on Black people's back because the powers that be know exactly the opposite. We are the strongest link.
I would agree with that when we're talking about another topic. But when it comes to money and
But that's
consuming,
period.
we are the weak link.
But we're
We
not
as black,
because we know.
but we are.
But we can't be because we know we can't be the weakest link because
Well,
we
let me.
know that because time out. We can't be the weakest link because we know there were too many communities that
That
were
was then.
prospering. It
That was
doesn't
then,
matter.
not today.
It doesn't matter because when it was seen, whoa, look what they can do with the little that they have in a short amount of time, then we need to put some things in place so
Well,
that don't happen again.
after 50 or 60 years of that, that's no longer a threat. Docile when it comes to being a strong unit, when it comes to spending money. We are nothing more than consumers. We are easily manipulated, we are easily deceived, and we buy freely into the system now, and we are no longer that strong of a force when it comes to spending our money.
But I believe, again, like I said, when we know better, we do better. There are movements happening where people are coming together in community to educate one another, to bring their resources together, and to create and to bring back that the wealth, to bring back the wealth that Black communities once had. There are movements that are happening. So that's why I keep saying when we know better, we do better. So we can't throw out the baby with the bathwater because it is happening. I would say the revolution will not be televised. So everybody don't get to come to the party. Everybody don't get to come to the barbecue. Everybody don't need to know what we doing over here because it is happening.
Well,
But some folk don't know how to act. But I believe there are movements happening that can prove that Black people have the wherewithal. The same way that we saw those Black communities prosper, we still have that within us.
are we
Those
still at
systems,
the
we just have to recognize those systems
are we still at the bottom of the economic scale?
on purpose.
Whether it's purpose or not, are we still at the bottom of the economic scale?
On purpose.
Well, if we're still at the bottom of the economic scale and you saying there are different pockets of movements that are gradually getting ground or movement going towards financial intelligence or
Mhm.
awareness, I think we're still a long ways from seeing the success.
Yeah, we are again. The race being started before we was even able to get on the track. So yeah, we got a lot of ground to make up. And not to mention when we get on the track, we got dang on hurdles to jump.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that. So we're going to end this right here. I would like to ask the audience, please chime in and make a comment, a suggestion, or opinion on what do you all think? Do you think that we are nothing but full of excuses, or do you think there are really a system in place that's keep hindering us, even when some of us hit the lottery? Scratch off numbers, doesn't matter. Gambling, baseball, football, going down to Vegas, gambling at the casinos, what you all opinion is about this topic here. So if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe, follow, and what, baby?
Comment,
Thank
like,
you.
share, comment, subscribe. Even if you don't like the content, subscribe anyway, because something might pop up that'll catch your
Yeah.
ear.
So what? Let's give them a hint of what's happening next week. What we talking about next week?
Ooh, what did we get into? Was it religion?
Oh no, it was supposed to be religion. I mean relationship. We touched on relationship and religion, but we didn't really dive deep into it. So I think we should discuss religion. I mean relationships.
Relate
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about relationships. I
like
think they'll get
our
it.
relationship,
No, just
our
general.
relationship or
Just
relationship?
just relationship. Cause I want to be Mr. Critical. And I haven't got a chance to put on a show for my people yet. So let's talk about relationships so I can put on a good show.
Oh, you showed out today,
No,
Mr.
I was pretty good today. I was pretty good today. So, hey, you all, thank you all for watching and listening. Again, subscribe, follow, and comment. Thank you all, and have a good night.